Welcome, Renegades of Puck, to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of No Half Steppin'. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and before we get started with the No Half Steppin' playoff hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck, and once you click on that merchandise tab, you will immediately gain access to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt that I am wearing on set today, all of our great gimmick t-shirts that we've had from our special events over the years, and over 50 items with our logo on it. Throw pillows, socks, wall art, it does not matter. We've sold out so that you can buy in. We sure would appreciate each and every one of you for buying some Renegades of Puck merchandise. Social media, we absolutely need your help. It is of critical importance to an operation like this that we get as many recruits as possible into the trenches. Now, YouTube is a perfect access point. That's where you can find Renegades of Puck TV. Once we have those episodes of Renegades of Puck TV posted, you can share those across your social media spectrum. We are on Facebook. We are also on Twitter. We are on Instagram. And you can find us everywhere as far as podcasts go. Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, it doesn't matter. The Renegades of Puck are everywhere. Just check out the logos on the screen right now and find us at your favorite platform, and then share those links on your social media platforms. Again, it is of critical importance that you help us out here in the trenches to help the Renegades of Puck grow to where we want to be. Also, don't forget, we do have that live behind-the-scenes Twitch stream, and we're having a good time. Plug-to-plug broadcast on this episode. That means you get to see me plug everything in and set up the equipment, rehearse, start the show, record an entire show, and also break down the studio. No one else is doing it like the Renegades of Puck, and we'd like you to get to see everything that's happening behind the scenes. It's not pretty, it's real broadcasting. It's also interactive, so I can look down at the chat, and I can see what you guys are up to and see what your questions are and your comments and answer you in real time. So again, so many different ways that you can consume the essence of No Half Steppin', and we sure would appreciate support in any of those ways. You can become a partner of the Renegades of Puck by going to Venmo and searching Renegades of Puck, or you can just scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. It sure means a lot every time somebody takes the time to donate to the Renegades of Puck, built by Renegades for Renegades. Every single dollar that you have sent to me in this first season of Renegades of Puck hockey coverage has gone to make significant upgrades here in the bunker. I have a sound engineer coming over later today after this recording to help troubleshoot a couple of problems, and that is probably going to lead to me adding some more equipment to the bunker. So again, we could always use a little bit more support. Thank you so much. Stick taps, love and respect to each and every one of you. Now, I know that you're here for the No Half Steppin' hockey coverage, so it's time for me to deliver the goods. It's operation number 652 for the Renegades of Puck. That is right, show number 652. And let me take you around the NHL playoff bracket before we get into everything going on in the world of the Milwaukee Admirals and the Nashville Predators, and we talk all of the great Renegades of Puck. So let's go back on this date in hockey history and take a look at where we are in the NHL first round playoff bracket. I'm going to take you back to Thursday because the last time we spoke was on Wednesday evening. So on Thursday, it was the Boston Bruins defeating the Carolina Hurricanes 5-2. Haula, Marchand, and Coyle, 1 goal each in that game. As a matter of fact, 5 different goal scorers for the Bruins, forcing a Game 7, tying the series up at 3 games apiece. Tampa Bay defeats Toronto in overtime, 4-3. It was Point with the game-winning goal in overtime, and the Tampa Bay Lightning tied the game 9:20 into the third period. Highly intense hockey game setting up another Game 7. It was St. Louis blowing out the Minnesota Wild 4-0 after 2 periods in this game. Just simply an impressive series by the St. Louis Blues, and now they defeat the Minnesota Wild 4-2, and they will go on to take on the Colorado Avalanche in round 2 of the NHL playoffs. That is the only second-round series to be determined at this point. For Minnesota, what a disappointing end to an incredible season for the Wild. The Oilers defeated the LA Kings 4-2, forcing yet another Game 7. It was McDavid leading the way with a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. You also saw Kane picking up his 7th goal of the series. So 7 goals in 6 games, setting up a Game 7 in Edmonton. Then Friday night, we saw the New York Rangers save their series against the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh, picking up a 5-3 victory, tying that series at 3 apiece. The big names for the New York Rangers really started to chip in this game. Zibanejad went for 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points, and Chris Kreider went for 2 goals. The Rangers outscored the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-1 after the first period, and that crowd has got to be absolutely exhausted from trying to break a 21-year-old Vezina-winning goaltender in Igor Shesterkin rather than at any point in time cheering for their own home team. The Florida Panthers picked up a 4-3 victory in overtime over the Washington Capitals. That means they win the series 4-2 with Verhaeghe scoring the game-winning overtime goal. TJ Oshie tied the game up at 18:57 of the third period, forcing the overtime and almost saving the Washington Capitals season, or at least extending it to a Game 7. But the Florida Panthers are able to secure the victory, and they move on in 6 games. They will now await their opponent. Dallas defeated Calgary 4-2, forcing yet another Game 7. Ottinger goes 36 out of 38 in this game, and this was an incredible battle, highly intense, a lot of speed, and a lot of physical play in this game. It was a lot of fun to watch that game. So what does that set up for the first round of the playoffs? That sets up five Game 7s. Boston is at Carolina on Saturday. Tampa Bay is at Toronto, and LA is at Edmonton. Staggered start time, so people will get to see each and every one of those and take in the entirety of the Game 7 cosmic magic. And then on Sunday, Pittsburgh will be in New York to take on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden in prime time in Game 7. And then Dallas will be in Calgary in the later time slot. And that will wrap up the first round of the NHL playoffs. It has been highly impressive and highly fun, unless you're a Nashville Predators fan. They fell to the Colorado Avalanche in 4 games, but other than that, everything has gone to at least 6, and we will get 5 out of 8 series in the first round will go to a Game 7. It's been pretty wild to watch. We'll continue tracking it and very much looking forward to sitting on the couch and getting in front of a lot of Game 7 action over the next 2 nights, and then getting back in here in the bunker and getting an opportunity to recap that. So again, the NHL playoffs are coming down to a perfect weekend. I'm pretty sure that the NHL execs and all of the TV people are plenty happy to see a Game 7 for the Maple Leafs in Toronto, a Game 7 for the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden, and a Game 7 for the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton. That puts your biggest names, your biggest teams, and your biggest players on the international stage at just the perfect time. It's a great job by the NHL this year. The first round of the playoffs have been exceptionally entertaining. Again, unless you happen to be a Nashville Predators fan. Let's get into the recap of the Milwaukee Admirals Manitoba Moose Game 4. We go in, and it was the Milwaukee Admirals leading the series 2-1. Game 4 recap coming up here in just a moment. You give me 10 minutes, I'll give you the game. You give us an additional 10 minutes, and the Renegades of Puck will give you all the information, analysis, and opinions and stats that you need to get you all caught up and ready for Game 5. But first, let me tell you about Rebirth Sports, because this is the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports can be found at rebirthsports.com, or you can find them on social media. They are on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They are also on Twitter. They're not just incredible partners, but they're incredible people, and they make an incredible product. They are not jersey makers. They are hockey tailors, and they can outfit your entire operation and make you look incredible. Wherever I go, wherever I skate, I'm always asked about the jerseys that I'm wearing and the threads that I have, and it's always a great conversation because I get to talk about Rebirth Sports. I love that crew. They do an incredible job, and they absolutely deliver the goods each and every time. We just had a full delivery of Renegades of Puck jerseys that were purchased by listeners and viewers out there, and we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. Rebirth Sports came through huge in that yet again, and they will always come through huge for everyone. I sure do appreciate them being in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Now let's talk about Game 4. Milwaukee Admirals at the Manitoba Moose. Milwaukee leading 2-1 going into this Game 4. And you will see Carl Taylor deploy his lines in the following way. Rocco Grimaldi back from injury for his first game into the lineup. Then you'll see Glass at center, Schneider on the right wing. Huntington, Novak, and Burke make up your second line. Smith, Partsinen, and Olivier, McLean, Knott, and LeBate make up your fourth line. Delgazo, Blugis, McLaughlin, Donovan, Davies, and Healy are your defense pairings. And Connor Ingram gets the start in net, his first start in this series. After all, he was with the Nashville Predators, forged by fire, ready to compete and battle. Let's see how he does in this game. It would only be 101 into the first period when Ingram would have to come up with his first save on Pagansky, 128, another save on Malott, 403. Healy from the blue line around the outside for a scoring chance was the first shot on goal, the first good offensive look for the Milwaukee Admirals. He looked good going around the outside with speed. At 5:34, Ingram comes up with a glove save on Mayer at close range. At 6:22, Barron, who has been nothing but trouble for the Admirals in this series, picks up his third goal of the series. It was a wrist shot from the slot. He found some quiet ice in between a bunch of Admirals defenders, and he was able to convert right here. Manitoba Moose with a 1-0 lead early in the first period. 6:54 of the first, we see Burden come up with a save on Blugis from the slot. He was all alone and had two 2 glorious scoring opportunities, unable to convert. But at 7:33, Burke's third goal of the series is a gift as Burden gives one back. He goes behind the net. He attempts to clear the puck, but he passes it directly to Burke, who puts the puck directly into the empty net. We have a 1-1 hockey game in Winnipeg. 7:37 of the first period. Pele's off the box. 2 minutes for tripping, and the best scoring chance for the power play, unfortunately, goes to the Manitoba Moose. While they are shorthanded, they were able to generate quite a good Russian scoring chance. When Pele comes out of the box, 12:41, he picks up his first goal of the playoffs. It was a shot from the low circle. The D is just giving up entirely too much room and space, and I made the note again because it was very reminiscent of how the first goal was scored in this game. Manitoba Moose now with a 2-1 lead over the Milwaukee Admirals in the first period, 14:02. Bourdin comes up with a save on Davies' long shot. Light traffic, though, so not much happening right here. 15:23. Hutchinson, 2 minutes for cross-checking. We see Cole Smith converting on the power play for the Milwaukee Admirals. His first goal of the playoffs, tying the game up at 2 apiece. It was the low-high pass play with the finish from the middle slot. And for the Milwaukee Admirals, just to have the relief and be able to take the deep breath of scoring on the power play after the abysmal power play in Game 3. Good job by Milwaukee. The power play looked really good out there. At 18:53 of the first period, Ingram comes up with a save on Cesar drive to the net, and we hit the end of the first period. Now, we do have a penalty at the end of the first period at the 20-minute mark. Donovan's off the box, 2 minutes for interference. Now, shots on goal for the first period. Manitoba Moose, 16, and Milwaukee Admirals, 12. So, we start on a clean sheet with the Admirals on the penalty kill, and on the penalty kill, LeBate's picking up a penalty, 2 minutes for hooking, so we'll see a 5-on-3 for 59 seconds in total. We'd see Ingram come up with a huge save on Gavaca. We'd see Gustafson hit the crossbar. We'd see Healy go down and block a shot, and the PK would just be absolutely incredible on the 5-on-3. Donovan, coming out of the box, is able to secure a pass and go on the breakaway, but he is stopped by Bourdin. We go back on to the power play now on the 5-on-4 for the Manitoba Moose, and they are unable to convert. But right after the power play comes to a conclusion at 4:33 of the second, Jones has his second of the playoffs. It's a redirect of a perfect setup by Eleni in the slot area. Manitoba Moose now back on top with a 3-2 lead. 7:32 of the second period, Ingram comes with a save on Jones. It is the Moose's 10th shot of the period already, just 7:32 into the period. 9:41, Jones has a 2-minute penalty for cross-checking on Davies. We'd see Bourdin come up with a save on Novak, plus his rebound jam opportunity. And overall, it was an outstanding power play. There was plenty of possession, good, crisp passing and movement, but they were unable to convert. Bourdin came up really huge on this play. 12:24 of the second period. We are seeing Gavaca go off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Grimaldi's got some doorstep jam, but unable to convert. A relentless PK by Manitoba. You've got to give them stick taps right here for the effort and the jam that they put in. They were battling all over the zone for pucks. 14:27 in the second. Glass is off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. And then we see Blue just pick up a penalty, 2 minutes for hooking. Another 5-on-3 against Milwaukee Admirals, this time for 1 minute and 29 seconds. Heinola's first goal of the playoffs makes it a 4-2 game in favor of Manitoba. A wrist shot from the top of the circle, plenty of good traffic. That was on the first penalty, so that leads to a 5-on-4 for 1 minute 25. The Admirals are able to kill that off, but again, shortly after that penalty kill wraps up at 17:35, Chisholm gets his second goal of the playoffs, making it a 5-2 game. It was another long shot through traffic. Ingram had little chance on this one. At the end of the second period, it's Manitoba 5, Milwaukee 2. Manitoba outshooting Milwaukee 34-19. So you go from 16 shots on goal in the first to 34 at the end of the second. Roll on over to a clean sheet, start the third period, 102, and Ingram is already back at work. He's coming up with another save on Pagansky, 2:27. Delgado comes up and puts the puck through the crease. He missed the wide open net, put the puck between the back of the goaltender and the goal line, unable to put it into the empty net. 4:59, we see Glass hit the post. 5:59, we see Bourdin come up with a save on Olivier, plus the rebound jam. This led to a little bit of a scrum after whistle. 7:49, Bourdin comes up with a save at Glass at close range. 8:38, we see LeBate with his first goal of the playoffs. Great job crashing the slot, finding the loose puck before anybody else could, and he chips the puck in over the shoulder of Bourdin. We've got a 5-3 hockey game, and Milwaukee seems to be making at least a little bit of a push, but unfortunately that push comes to an end very quickly because at 11:40, LeBate, who just scored that goal, gets a penalty, 2 minutes for charging. This led to a very large scrum, and I was surprised this did not break out and lead to a lot more penalties. We see Esimont come up with his first goal of the series. It was an an easy tap-in goal on the power play. That makes this game 6-3, and now we're just playing out the string. 16-19 in the third period. Ingram comes up with a save on Malott, plus 2 opportunities, close range jam. 17-54. Johnson makes it a bit of a laugher with his second goal of the playoffs. 7-3 now in favor of Manitoba. He just beat the D on the rush and received a perfect feed. Again, the defense allowing someone to just slip right on through, get behind them, and come up with a scoring opportunity to convert against Connor Ingram. That is the end of this game. Now the series is tied up at 2 apiece. The Manitoba Moose secure the victory 7-3, and they outshoot the Milwaukee Admirals 44-25. Now, in a 2-2 series in Game 5 coming up on Sunday afternoon, that will determine who goes on to the next round of the playoffs. And I've got to tell you, for the Milwaukee Admirals, maybe it's a very big ask, because they've not won a playoff game on the road since May the 3rd of 2011. That's exactly what they're going to have to do in this pivotal Game 5. After being up 2-0, the series is now all tied up at 2 apiece. Do or die Game 5 coming up on Sunday afternoon in Winnipeg. Will the Admirals be able to put together a more complete game? Analysis coming up. We'll recap everything that happened in Game 4. We'll get you set for everything that's going to happen in Game 5. Let's take you around the AHL playoff bracket, and let's do that thanks to Strong Style Fitness, another incredible partner here of the Renegades of Puck. Strong Style Fitness. You can find their work at strongstylefit.com or on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we sure would appreciate if you would reach out and give them a follow. A certified personal trainer that's made 150 workouts completely free and available to you on demand via YouTube. Totally donation-based. That's right, Renegades of Puck. A certified personal trainer that believes in their work so much they've made it available for free to you, because being healthy is more important than making a buck. If you can donate, please do donate. The results will come. I've seen the results and I've experienced the results for myself. Strong Style Fitness is an incredible operation. They are incredible partners to the Renegades of Puck, and we sure do appreciate not only sharing studio space with Strong Style Fitness, but everything they have done to help the Renegades of Puck. Now, let's take a look around the AHL playoff bracket. Of course, Game 5 coming up between Milwaukee and Manitoba. That's going to take place on Sunday. That series is tied at 2 apiece. We have a lot to talk about from some of these other series. Let's go around the rest of the Western Conference bracket, then we'll bump over to the Eastern side of things. Chicago leads Rockford 1-0. As a matter of fact, one game won 6-2. If you go down to the other part of the bracket, Stockton has already swept Bakersfield 3-0. As a matter of fact, they outscored Bakersfield 12-7 in the series. So that one's wrapped up, and Stockton is awaiting the winner of the Ontario versus Colorado series. Colorado is leading 2-0 in that series. Now, Colorado won game 1 10-1, and they won game 2 5-4. So they are outscoring Ontario 15-5 after 2 games. Taking a look over on the Eastern Conference side of things, Charlotte's up 2-0 over Bridgeport. The scores in this game 3-2 and then 7-6. So a high-scoring back-and-forth affair right there between Charlotte and Bridgeport. Talking about Springfield and Wilkes-Barre over in the next part of this bracket. Springfield holds a 2-0 lead in that series, and they've outscored Wilkes-Barre 10-3 in the 2 games so far. Utica and Rochester have only played 1 game so far. Utica holds a 1-game lead in that series, and Syracuse is down 2-1 to Laval in their best of 5 second-round series. That takes you around the AHL playoff bracket and gets you all set up for this weekend's action. We're going to see the conclusion of all of these series over the next couple of days. Now, let's get back to the Game 4 between Manitoba and Milwaukee and recap everything that happened for the Milwaukee Admirals. Connor Ingram back from the Nashville Predators after making an impressive NHL playoff debut. No, not in the wins and losses, but in the workload and the number of saves that he was able to make against some of the best competition in the entire NHL. Connor Ingram was definitely forged by fire, prepared by battle, and ready to come back and lead the Milwaukee Admirals. Unfortunately, he went 37 out of 44 in this game and was under siege in the entire second period. It doesn't matter who your goaltender is. In the second period for the Milwaukee Admirals, it is just simply abysmal hockey. They are under siege the entire period. They're giving up multiple power plays against. They're giving up multiple 5-on-3s against. And it's just a formula that clearly does not work. And that's why you're finding yourself in Game 5. I thought Connor Ingram looked good at times. And at other times, I felt that he could have been more crisp. Now, getting a game of experience and getting ready for Game 5. I think that that's very advantageous for Connor Ingram. And I think that he will have a bounce back and very big performance in Game 5 for the Milwaukee Admirals. He's going to have a very big performance for them, or else they're going to find themselves no longer as part of the Calder Cup playoffs. When it comes to the power play, the Admirals put one in the net. They were 1 out of 4 in this game, 2 out of 14 in the series, though, and that's we know that's not good enough. Manitoba Moose were 2 out of 5 in this game, multiple 5-on-3s, and no, that is not the complete difference in the game, but you are putting yourself behind a huge wall to climb over every time you take one of these bad penalties. 4 out of 15 in the series. So for the Milwaukee Admirals, they absolutely have to stay out of the box and absolutely have to stop taking bad penalties, giving the Manitoba Moose plenty of opportunities. As a matter of fact, I made the statement, preventable penalties. Too much time in the box, and Carl Taylor has, frankly, had enough. LeBate's charging penalty in the third period. Listen, the score was not out of reach yet, and the Milwaukee Admirals were starting to make a push. LeBate had just put a puck in the net to score his first goal of the playoffs, and then he goes and takes a completely unnecessary and preventable penalty. There's no reason to be charging a guy out there in open ice. If you got the opportunity to lay a big open ice hit on him, you do so. But you don't go like a heat-seeking missile across the rink trying to find one. When every single player on the opposing team comes after you, you know that you have done something wrong. As a matter of fact, I was kind of surprised that this was only a 2-minute penalty. So you've got to lock it down. You've got to do a little bit better in the area of not taking penalties. It's just something that you have to do. Now listen, Rachel Kay is in the bunker here to talk about the Milwaukee Admirals. And of course, you know the feature that we're doing with Rachel from ontheforecheck.com. She is in the tape room, and she is breaking down the series from a clinical and analytical standpoint, taking all of the emotion and immediate reaction out of it. So Rachel is going to talk about the series through 3 games, and we had to catch up with Rachel on the run. So here is her report right here.
Hey Charlie, it's Rachel. I just wanted to give you a call, talk through a couple things from last Wednesday's Admirals game, talk a little bit about what I saw in Wednesday's game that the boys are going to be able to use to benefit themselves tonight and in the playoffs going forward. First of all, we know that Connor Ingram's going to be in net tonight. Ingram had a great run with the Predators, almost stole a game from the powerhouse Avalanche, and he's going to be pushing our guys in Milwaukee to get that 3rd win tonight. I also want to talk about that power play. Milwaukee has the league's 2nd best power play, yet they stunk it up on Wednesday, going 0 for 7. They absolutely have to do some work on the power play tonight if they're going to beat the Moose. We need to talk about some balanced scoring, too. The top 2 lines have been contributing, bottom lines not so much. I've been really disappointed with some of the depth players, and I'm hoping to see them step it up going forward in these playoffs. We also need to talk about their pace. I said on Wednesday that the Admirals need to make sure that they're starting their games fast and they're staying fast. What happens is the Admirals come out blasting in the first period, and then by the time the second period happens, they just decide they're going to take a nap and go snoozing. They have to stay tight and stay fast in the second period to ensure that they're not coming from behind in that third. If they slow down, the Moose are able to control the game and therefore dictate the pace. It's exactly what we saw on Wednesday with multiple goals from the Moose, including Gavanka's goal. Those are pretty deflating goals when your pace allows the enemy to score goals. However, I am more than confident that our guys are going to be able to get it done tonight. If they tighten up defensively and they allow Connor Ingram to do some work in net, I think we're going to have a good game plan tonight. However, we want to make sure that we're not screening Ingram. What I saw on Wednesday involved our guys allowing screens in front of Cooley, and those goals were pretty rough to see go in as well. Charlie, you just got to make sure that you're not screening the goalie and doing work for the Moose. Get the guys in front of the goalie, get him away, and make sure that he can see those pucks coming towards him, and Connor Ingram is going to make those saves. Back to you, Cap. Go Ads.
That's Rachel Kay from ontheforecheck.com. We sure do appreciate Rachel going in the tape room and breaking down the series through 3 games. Can't wait to see her update the next time we're here in the bunker for Renegades of Puck TV. Stripe Digital Solutions is another incredible partner of the Renegades of Puck. We sure would encourage you to go to stripedigitalsolutions.com or check out Stripe Digital Solutions on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. The logo on the wall behind me, the t-shirt you see me wearing right here in the bunker, renegadesofpuck.com. Our social media plan and brand building, all of that is being assisted by Stripe Digital Solutions. You can't do it in the business world today without a great partner to help you navigate all of the different eccentricities and all of the different steps and all of the different platforms that exist to try to get your work out there. Just look at how many accounts we are having to manage here for the Renegades of Puck. Stripe Digital Solutions can help advise you in all of these areas and all of these departments. I advocate, please get a conversation going with Stripe Digital Solutions and find out how they can assist you today. Believe me, I have seen more than enough results to know that Stripe Digital Solutions can help you in so many different ways. Hey, it's time to get into the numbers. It's time to get into some box scores. So let me give you everything that happened between the Milwaukee Admirals and Manitoba Moose in that game. Milwaukee Admirals box score looks like this. LeBate picked up a goal in this game. We also saw Cole Smith pick up a goal in this game. And Braden Burke got a gift of a goal in this game. He's leading the Admirals in scoring through 4 games with 3 goals in the playoffs. Smith, only his first goal of the playoffs, and I anticipated and expected a lot more out of him in this playoff series. But unfortunately, so far not delivering goods. Not too late, though. A big Game 5 performance could erase everything that I'm thinking about that. In the assist department, Tommy Novak picked up an assist, and Tommy Novak's doing a good job leading the Admirals in scoring through 4 games, 5 assists, no goals. Would like to see Tommy Novak have another big game in Game 5. Also, Cole Schneider picked up an assist in this game, and Jeremy Davies gets on the board with an assist. Connor Ingram in net, 37 out of 44. Disappointing return to the Milwaukee Admirals for Connor Ingram, but I expect a bounce-back performance from him in Game 5. When it comes to shots on goal, it was Matt Donovan had 5 shots on net in this game. Cole Smith, Cody Glass also with 3 shots on net, and Jeremy Davies with 3 shots on net. Need to see Rocco Grimaldi getting more pucks onto the net. He's going to get first-line minutes, and he has plenty of experience not only in the NHL but at the AHL level. He's a veteran, and he was having quite a nice season. First game back from injury, maybe I was expecting a little bit too much, but I've come to know and rely on Rocco Grimaldi to be a solid offensive performer. He needs to put the puck on the net instead of doing so much skating around the zone and trying to look for the perfect pass. Put the puck on the net and go to the net, Rocco. It's what everybody knows you for. It's what you're famous for, and I expect him to bounce back in Game 5. Overall, for the Milwaukee Admirals, I anticipate that they're going to have a better performance in Game 5. They played better in Game 3. Game 4 was not very good. In these last 2 games, it's been 80%, 80-20 in favor of the Manitoba Moose. The Moose are just playing a better overall team game. More of their players are having more of an impact in each and every shift than the Milwaukee Admirals are. The Admirals struggled to generate any offense in Game 4. As a matter of fact, being given a gift goal, after that, it was a bit of a struggle to find yourselves looking for any plays around the net. So Burdin is beatable. He was looking shaky. He was looking questionable with his decisions to come out of the net and to play the puck. He even probably got away with playing the puck in the trapezoid at one point in Game 4. You can put him under pressure. You can put him under heavy stress, and he will start to show some cracks. But until you start to do that, Burden's going to get away with a comeback in this series, and he's going to win all 3 of these games. Connor Ingram, I expect to be better. I expect the Milwaukee Admirals to be much better. This is a desperation game. This is the last game of the series. And if the Milwaukee Admirals don't step up and play a lot better than they did in Games 3 and Games 4 combined, then they're going to find themselves sitting at home and, well, questioning whether they should have been going on, because after the first 2 games of this series, it looked like it was going to be an easy finish, and maybe that's exactly where the Admirals made their mistake. Carl Taylor will have them prepared for Game 5. I have no doubt about that. But for the Milwaukee Admirals, they're going to be asked to do something that they have not done since May the 5th of 2011. That is, win a playoff game on the road, and that will help them win a series and advance, and they will then face the winner against Chicago and Rockford, who have only played 1 game in their series so far. The Admirals need to bring the jam. They need to adopt the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.